It's Game 6 of the 2011 NBA Finals, and the atmosphere is electric, charged with tension and excitement. The Dallas Mavericks find themselves on the verge of pulling off one of the most remarkable upsets in NBA history. Just a few years prior, they had faced heartbreak in the finals, but now they stand poised to rewrite their narrative. On the other hand, the Miami Heat, boasting their star-studded trio of LeBron James, Dwayne Wade, and Chris Bosh, are grappling with the weight of expectations. This team was constructed to dominate the league, to not only win one championship, but to create a dynasty that could rival the greatest teams in NBA history. Yet, as the clock ticks down, the reality is stark. The Heat are just 48 minutes away from what would be remembered as a monumental failure. The pressure is palpable. They were heralded as the favorites, the team that would redefine success in the league. Instead, they find themselves on the brink of collapse, facing a Maverick squad that many had underestimated. The stakes couldn't be higher, and the tension in the arena is almost suffocating. Fans hold their breath, knowing that history is on the line. Will the Mavericks seize this opportunity to claim their first-ever championship? Or will the Heat rise to the occasion and salvage their season? The stage is set for an unforgettable showdown, and every moment counts as the players prepare to leave everything on the court. To truly grasp how we arrived at this pivotal moment in the 2011 NBA Finals, we must take a step back to 2006, a year that would forever alter the trajectories of both the Miami Heat and the Dallas Mavericks. In those finals, a young Dwayne Wade, just 24 years old, emerged as a force to be reckoned with. Facing off against a prime Dirk Nowitzki, Wade showcased his incredible talent and determination. He dominated the series, averaging over 39 points per game, and his electrifying performances led the Heat to their first-ever championship. For Dirk, this represented yet another heartbreaking chapter in his quest for an elusive title. Having been so close to glory, he watched as Wade's brilliance unfolded before him, culminating in a stunning comeback from a 2-0 deficit. The Mavericks had entered the finals as favorites, and the sting of defeat was particularly sharp. This loss not only impacted Dirk personally, but also sent shockwaves throughout the NBA, altering perceptions of both teams and their respective legacies. The 2006 finals shook the league to its core, marking a turning point in how teams were built and how players approached the game. It set the stage for the rivalry that would develop between the Mavericks and the Heat, a rivalry steeped in emotion and fueled by the contrasting paths of their stars. While Wade celebrated his triumph, Dirk was left to grapple with the pain of missed opportunities, vowing to return stronger. Fast forward 5 years, and the stakes have never been higher. The events of 2006 would soon pale in comparison to what lay ahead in 2011. The Mavericks, having endured years of playoff disappointments and heartache, were determined to rewrite their narrative. Meanwhile, the Heat, with their newly formed Big Three, were expected to dominate the league and secure multiple championships. The tension between these two franchises was palpable, and the memory of past encounters loomed large. As the 2011 finals approached, both teams were not just playing for a title. They were playing for redemption, legacy, and the chance to etch their names into NBA history. Following their heartbreaking loss in the 2006 finals, the Dallas Mavericks were determined to reclaim their place among the elite in the NBA. The 2007 season saw them bounce back in spectacular fashion, finishing with an impressive 67 wins, the best record in the league. Dirk Nowitzki's exceptional performance earned him the coveted MVP award, and optimism surged among fans and players alike as hopes for a championship run reached new heights. However, the excitement quickly turned to disbelief when the Mavericks faced the 8th-seeded Golden State Warriors in the first round of the playoffs. In a shocking turn of events, Dallas was eliminated in just 6 games, marking one of the biggest upsets in NBA history. This stunning defeat left the franchise reeling, and the embarrassment of such an early exit weighed heavily on the team's psyche. Just weeks later, Dirk stood before the media to accept his MVP trophy in a press conference that felt more like a funeral than a celebration. The joy of individual recognition was overshadowed by the haunting memory of failure. Marking one of the lowest points of his career, and deepening the Mavericks' quest for redemption. Meanwhile, the 2007 title defense for the Miami Heat turned out to be a complete disaster. Dwayne Wade, the star of the previous finals, battled through a series of injuries that severely hampered his performance. As a result, the Heat faced an early exit, getting swept in the first round of the playoffs. This unexpected downfall was a stark contrast to the championship glory they had just enjoyed. Both the Mavericks and the Heat found themselves in a cycle of disappointment in the years that followed. Dallas struggled to shake off the bitter taste of their playoff failures, grappling with questions about their ability to compete at the highest level. Meanwhile, Miami watched helplessly as their championship window began to close, unable to replicate the success they had achieved just a year prior. The subsequent seasons were filled with frustration for both teams, as they failed to make significant playoff runs. The Mavericks, burdened by past failures, and the Heat, dealing with injuries and roster changes, both faced challenges that tested their resolve. Each franchise was left searching for answers, hoping to rediscover the magic that once brought them success. Fast forward to the 2010 offseason, a pivotal moment that would change the landscape of the NBA. The Miami Heat made headlines by signing superstars LeBron James and Chris Bosh, forming a formidable trio alongside Dwayne Wade. This new powerhouse instantly shifted the balance of power in the league, with expectations soaring for the Heat to dominate and secure multiple championships. In contrast, the Dallas Mavericks took a different approach. Recognizing the need to bolster their defense, they made a strategic move by trading for Tyson Chandler, a player known for his defensive prowess and rebounding ability. This acquisition aimed to provide the Mavericks with the toughness and grit they needed to compete with the league's elite. As the 2011 season approached, both teams entered with renewed hope and a clear vision of their goals. The Heat were determined to live up to the hype and deliver on their promise of greatness, while the Mavericks sought to finally break through the barriers that had held them back for so long. With both franchises eager to prove themselves, the stage was set for a thrilling showdown in the finals, where legacies would be defined and history rewritten. The regular season of 2011 proved to be nothing short of magical for both the Miami Heat and the Dallas Mavericks. The Heat fully embraced their new identity, showcasing their star power and chemistry, ultimately finishing with an impressive 58 wins. LeBron James, Dwayne Wade, and Chris Bosh formed a formidable trio that dominated opponents, establishing Miami as a force to be reckoned with. On the other hand, the Mavericks found the perfect blend of experience and talent, securing 57 wins. Dirk Nowitzki led the charge, supported by a skilled roster that included key veterans and emerging talents. As the playoffs unfolded, the paths of both teams diverged. Miami cruised through the early rounds with relative ease, showcasing their offensive prowess and defensive capabilities. In contrast, Dallas faced a series of tougher challenges, but they rose to the occasion spectacularly. One of the most memorable moments came when they stunned the defending champion Los Angeles Lakers, sweeping them in a shocking 4-game series. This victory not only boosted the Mavericks' confidence, but also signaled their readiness to contend for the championship. As the playoffs progressed, anticipation grew for a potential showdown between these two powerhouse teams, each determined to claim the ultimate prize. When the NBA Finals began, the Dallas Mavericks and Miami Heat faced off once again, and the stakes couldn't have been higher. This rematch was not just about the championship. It was a battle for redemption and legacy. Game 1 set the tone, with Miami taking control early on, leveraging their star power and aggressive play to establish a lead. However, the Mavericks showcased their resilience, refusing to back down. Dallas fought back fiercely, demonstrating their determination and grit. As the series progressed, each game was filled with clutch moments and heart-stopping plays that kept fans on the edge of their seats. Dirk Nowitzki, under immense pressure, shone brightly, delivering crucial baskets and embodying the spirit of his team. His ability to perform in high-stakes situations became a defining characteristic of the series, as he consistently stepped up when it mattered most. The intensity of the finals escalated with every game, highlighting the contrasting styles of both teams. Miami relied on their explosive offense, while Dallas countered with strategic plays and disciplined defense. This clash of approaches added to the drama, making each game a thrilling spectacle and setting the stage for an unforgettable showdown. In Game 6 of the NBA Finals, the atmosphere in the arena was electric, filled with a palpable sense of anticipation and hope. The Dallas Mavericks were on the cusp of redemption, poised to claim their first championship title. However, the tension was palpable as Dirk Nowitzki struggled early on, missing key shots and leaving fans anxious about the outcome. His usual composure seemed shaken, and doubts began to creep in. Yet, in the midst of this uncertainty, Jason Terry emerged as a beacon of hope for the Mavericks. He stepped up when it mattered most, delivering crucial points that kept Dallas in the game and reigniting the crowd's energy. Terry's fearless shooting and relentless drive provided the spark the team needed, helping to bridge the gap as the game progressed. As the final minutes ticked away, the tension mounted to an almost unbearable level. Fans held their breath, wondering if the Mavericks would finally break through and claim the long-awaited title, or if they would falter once again, succumbing to the weight of past disappointments. Every possession felt monumental, every shot a potential turning point. The stakes had never been higher, and the world watched as Dallas fought not just for a championship, but for redemption and legacy. With the championship on the line, Dirk found his rhythm, hitting key shots that propelled Dallas forward. The Mavericks held on to their lead, and as the final buzzer sounded, they emerged victorious. The celebration erupted as Dallas claimed its first championship in franchise history, completing one of the greatest underdog stories in sports. This victory not only marked a turning point for the Mavericks, but also solidified Dirk's legacy among the NBA greats. What does this victory mean for the future of the league? How will it shape the narratives of the players involved? As we reflect on this incredible journey, one thing is clear. Redemption is a powerful force, and the story of the 2011 Finals will be remembered for generations.